If you like the analog look, the film look, or the vintage look, call it whatever you want, and you're using a digital camera, you might want to stay here in this video because today I'm going to show you how to get and achieve this look with your digital photography. So in the past I had the chance to use an analog camera, which was a Canon AE1. And I really liked the render of the photos I could get with this camera. And from then I was like, how can I get this same render with my digital camera? So I started a few things. I started to add a filter on the top of my lens, which is a Black Pro Mist. And then it wasn't enough, so I started to add grain into Lightroom, but it wasn't enough because it didn't allow me to have enough control on the grain. It was all over the place on the photo, and I didn't like that. So I started to look for another solution, another plugin, and I found Exposure, which was a really great tool, and I've been using it for months now and I really love it. But I recently discovered a new plugin, and probably the ultimate plugin, let's call it like this, which is Dehancer. Dehancer is a new film emulation plugin available for Photoshop, Lightroom and Capture One. So if you have been wondering how to get this look, this may be the software for you, and I can't wait to show you how does it work. I've been using it since 2 weeks now, and yeah, I found it pretty impressive. It completely replaced Exposure, so that's a part of my new workflow now. So we are now in Adobe Lightroom. So I'm just gonna choose one of the photos below. So let's take this one. I think that would be a great image. So I'm just gonna add one of my presets. We're gonna do some very small adjustments like this. The goal of this video, of course, is not to show you how I edit my photos into Lightroom, but it's to show you how Dehancer works and how to get this film look effect. So we do have like a very solid base already. I'm really happy with this very small change I've made. So we're gonna go right click, modify in Dehancer. So we are now in Dehancer, and this is how the plugin looks like. So as you can see, there is already a film profile applied to my photo. So I'm not gonna leave it like this because obviously, to be honest, it looks rubbish. But if you do want to use some of the film profile here, I really recommend you to do some basic adjustment into Lightroom, such as touching the exposure, the highlight, the contrast, but not much, because if you do, then it will be just over-edit. So just to let you know, you can find some really interesting film profiles, such as Kodak Portrait, Kodak Gold, Kodak Hector, and some Fuji ones. And I think that's a great way if you want to achieve a film look very quickly without spending too much time on Lightroom. So I'm just gonna disable it for today. There we go. So we have our previous photo. So we're gonna now look at the right column here. So I'm gonna go straight into film grain because that's the one thing I want to do to achieve this film look. So I'm just gonna zoom in, and so you can see the difference. So when I enable the film grain, boom. And you see that straight away it's adding like some character to the image, and it makes it so more organic, and I really love the result. And what I like the most about this effect here is that you can really like control everything. You can control the size of the grain, so you can make it very big if you want. I would not go into this extreme stuff. I will probably leave around 150 or something. Then you can, of course, check if you want like how many grains you want in your photo. If you want it like, you see what I mean. It's not looking great, so just gonna keep it like very soft because I don't want my image to be over edit. I just want to look it nice. You can also check your grain into the shadow here. So let's, for example, have a look here if we can find. Okay, so let's say that I don't want any grain in my shadow. There you see, boom. But let's put some more because I think it looks great into the shadow. Let's put around 22, looks fine. Up. So you have your midtones as well, you can control. So I'm just usually putting it around, yeah, 20, 25, not much as well. And what I like to do is to add a little bit more in the highlights. So I'm just gonna put it down because in my opinion it's a bit too much. But I like to have some grains into my highlights. So look at this. For now it looks pretty awesome already. And you can really tell the difference. Let's do like a before after. Boom. Yeah. I really like it. So now let's move on to the next effect that I really love. It's Halation. So Halation, I'm gonna explain to you right now what does that mean. So Halation, you will most of the time and every time you will find this halo reddish orange thing in the edge of the contrast part of your image. So for example, when you have an extreme contrast between, like for example here my sky and here the island, you will find this halo here on the edge. But here you can see that it's a bit too much, and as every effect you want it to be very subtle. So what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna set up the impact maybe at around 50 something. Yeah, it's much better like this. And amplify, yeah, maybe 35. Looks, yeah, I think it looks great. So you can see here we have a much more, like a much better effect in my opinion. It's very subtle, and that's what you want to do with every effect. It has to be subtle. Okay, so we are getting close from our look, and now the final effect, one like a really good one as well. It's called the bloom one. So the bloom, it's just gonna give you this bloomy effect. It's gonna basically just give this very soft light into the highlight. So I'm gonna try to show you if I can zoom a little bit more and do like a before after. So there you see, maybe pay attention into the edge of the image, and you can see that there is a big difference when you put it. There you go. I really love it. This can really replace your Pro Mist, especially if you want more control on how this will affect your highlights and your image overall. But even though I'm using a black Pro Mist filter, I really like to add a bit of bloom to really amplify this effect, because I don't know, it really gives this film look character, and I really love it. So I would just maybe put it down a little bit, like 40, impact 50. Let's do a quick before after again. So let's see. Can take quite some time depending on your computer. I mean here I'm not in full power mode, because if I do, you will hear my ventilation going crazy. But yeah, I really like it. So there you go. I'm gonna try to show you before after with all the effects. So that's the before and that's the after. Pretty cool, no? I love it. I'm a huge fan of this plugin, I have to say. So now that you have your final image, you can just go on the right corner and click OK, and this will apply the effect into Lightroom. Just before I finish this video, I wanted to do a quick before and after. So let's take this one on the left. That's the one straight from Lightroom without editing it in Dehancer, and as you can see, it's really sharp. It's digital look basically. You can see there's no noise, or like just a small amount of digital noise, but that's it. So yeah, and on the right one, that's the one from Dehancer, and straight away you can see a big difference. You can clearly see the grains that we had. You can see here, like compared to here, you can see this halation here on the edge. You can see as well the bloom, you can see here, like this very soft light compared to here. I don't know, I love it. Such a great render. It adds so much more like character to the photo in my opinion. I really love it. So I hope you enjoyed this video guys, as much as I enjoy doing it, and I'm really happy today to have shared with you this plugin, because in my opinion that's the best on the market if you want to achieve this film look. If you want to try Dehancer, I invite you to check the link into the description. There is a free trial of 2 weeks, and if you would like to buy one of the products, if you're satisfied, feel free to use my code. It's below in the description as well, and you will get a 10% discount on every of the product. Enjoy, have fun on Dehancer, and if you have any questions, just please put it in the comments, and I will be more than happy to reply to your comments. Have a great day, have a great evening. Here it's night. Bye guys.